I totally understand the feeling, you know, that feeling of there's something missing.
Like retiring in Nigeria would be such a dream because I know that going back home, it will always feel like home.
I feel like now I'm more aware of Nigeria, my country, or even Africa as a whole.
Now that you're outside,
I feel like I'm more Nigerian now that I'm living abroad. Yeah.
Coast Guard called, police called, firefighters called, hospital called. All call was to check if I was fine in a country that is not my own.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time all my siblings were together because of this JAPA.
I might never be able to have all my siblings in one place again.
The truth is, some families will probably never ever be together again in one sitting. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and hope you guys have been doing okay. So for today's particular topic, it has to do with JAPA. So I saw this thread on Instagram and I could relate to it so much, and I wanted to talk about this with Chi. So the thread is about JAPA. So let's start with the first comment. The person said, "Man, there is just some incomplete feeling with JAPA. Like you never feel particularly settled, like you're there for a while and aren't particularly putting up long-term roots. I don't know how to explain it. Nigeria needs to work, man."
I totally understand the feeling, that feeling of there's something missing. You are comfortable, you have everything you've dreamt of having, your life is working well. But then you feel like
for some reason,
you feel like something is missing.
That's just the way. This place has never felt like home to me. I have lived here for almost by October it will be 5 years. And for some reason, even to get a property for myself to live in, it feels very, I don't know, there's something off about it. Like it just keeps feeling like something is missing. I don't know how to explain. So when I saw the trade, I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one.
I think a lot of people actually feel like that because I've heard a lot of people say the same. And I think one of the reasons is because we are lifted from the environment we've been existing for the longest time into this new environment, and we are still learning to adapt, So I feel like it's just this change in culture and environment, So, but I don't think we would ever get to that. I don't know. But I feel like even after a long time, you might still be feeling like this is not home, because there's that sense of...
It's really not home.
It's not home. Because there's that feeling of, even when you get your passport, even when you speak German, even when you interact with all these people, you're not being 100% yourself. You're being I don't know, I can't say careful.
You have to make yourself work for the society. But at home, you never really had to even think about having to make yourself work for a particular... Because it just comes natural and easy to you.
You have to grow. You have to... In Nigeria, you can say something so boldly because there are no consequences. This is your country, But here you have to be more you're learning, you're growing is a good thing, but it's not easy. You have to learn how to adapt to the culture, how to associate with people, how to do all these things, and it doesn't come easy, man.
And the truth is, sometimes I also think that I would be retiring in Nigeria. I don't know, but I have
thought about that before.
I have this feeling that I might, maybe when I'm in my 60s or something, by God's grace, I think I'll go back home.
I hope our country will be working by then.
Hopefully. Someone now said, "I swear, this is my biggest worry about living abroad. Nigeria is home and I will never be able to settle anywhere permanently. Moving back home is always in the plan. Nigeria must work," which is exactly what I think. Retiring in Nigeria would be such a dream because I know that going back home, it will always feel like home.
And this is not about food.
It's not about food. There's
the people. It's not even just about the people you have there. But there's something.
Whenever I travel back to Nigeria, no matter how long I've stayed there, once I know that Nigeria is not working at all, but there's this feeling. I cannot explain the feeling. There's this feeling of I'm at home. Yes, I don't know how to explain the feeling. Someone has said, "This JAPA conversation, is well. Me, I'm happy. I suffered at that bus stop too. Much for me not to be happy. I am satisfied." And I get this person, in the sense of, especially maybe when Nigeria has shown you shaggy and you finally JAPA, you might not really miss it that much. But I'm trying to tell you that, because I know that when I left Nigeria, because I was suffering from VGC to Wagada, and in my head I'm like, I can't wait to leave Nigeria. I left Nigeria. A lot of things are working where we are currently based, but some days I just miss home.
Yeah. I also don't know whether that person moved recently, because for me, like when I just moved here, I was a bit more, it hasn't dawned on me that this is now my life, but now I'm aware that, okay, this is now
Your
my
life.
life. And, I have to make here feel like home. And so sometimes I feel like the more you live abroad, the more you learn about yourself, about your identity. I feel like now I'm more aware of Nigeria, my country, or even Africa as a whole.
Now that you're outside.
Here, because when you're living in Nigeria, you don't feel any different. Like, apart from the look, you don't realize the cultural differences, the difference in behaviors and all of that. So I feel like I'm more Nigerian now that I'm living abroad. Yeah.
I hear you. Then someone that said, sometimes you could just remember when you had to leave home at 5 a.m. and return by 9 p.m. for a shitty pay, tired and weary, only to ask your neighbor if there was light in your absence, so you can do stupid mental calculation for when NEPA go restore them again. No be so life supposed be, which is what we keep saying. Like, I'm saying the same thing. Like, I hear this, like I hear all the stories. Like, when you have lived in a system that doesn't work, and then you eventually go to a system where you go to a place where the system works, sometimes you might not really want to miss Nigeria. But I am so sure that if Nigeria was working, a lot of people will be back home.
Those people speaking from a place of lack, I can understand them, because now you're living this life to a better life, But for people who were very comfortable in Nigeria and like moving over here, like I feel like the difference is more, like, because you were very okay there and now you're existing in this new environment. Once you're earning more, even I hope we are all earning better here, but the money passes through you, it doesn't really stay with you, so you start checking all those things as well. So it's not just about the money.
Okay, so the next person said, cancer probably would have killed me if I didn't leave Nigeria, where I once see several millions treat stage 3 cancer. I am very at peace, please.
Yeah.
So this one now, it's very funny because, like, I hear them very well. That's why we have, like, Nigeria has to work, because I lost also, like, my friends that went through a very traumatic cancer stage, where a lot of things that could have been done at the beginning of that cancer and the thing would have been diverted, but because of the situation of Nigeria, a lot of things were ignored. And if I also even look at how my dad passed as well, like, I remember them rushing him to the hospital around 3-4 a.m. There was no doctor inside. They didn't even want to attend to them. Like, they took him to 4 different hospitals. It was on the 5th one or so that they pronounced him dead, just because. But I am sure that if it were to be here, at least one thing, they will try and put oxygen for make the man they breathe. So sometimes when you look back and just see how Nigeria doesn't really work, that thing where they say, don't let Nigeria happen to you. So that's why sometimes when I look at it, and I'm also very, very grateful that I was able to relocate the time that I relocated. But the thing still gives me that feeling of, this is not home. I wish home could work. Do you get?
Yeah. But like, you see that in most of these instances we've read already, like, it is the system, like, dealing with them, not necessarily like, the culture and all of that. So I'm wondering what it would be for most people if you remove the system, and like, if everybody we are doing reasonably okay. I wonder how they would feel like at that time. Yeah.
Okay, someone said, I spent 2 years in a country, they didn't even speak English, and I felt at home like mad. I'll be walking and smiling like this. I used to wake up stretching and smiling. Me, I don't understand these people. Okay, so the next person said, my iPhone fell mistakenly and dialed emergency number. I quickly ended the call, but it already went through. Within 5 minutes, Coast Guard called, police called, firefighters called, hospital called. All call was to check if I was fine in a country that is not my own. I am just a resident. So that's what
alone is a big.
It's a big flex. That's what I see. That's I wish my country, Nigeria, could get to this point. It will make a lot of sense. So that's why, like, a lot of people also relocate, because things actually work here.
But I feel like for a lot of us that are complaining, It's because any environment like brings new challenges
Yeah.
and new like difficulties. So I think it's because we've forgotten the difficulties we were facing that we're now feeling like, oh, like it's not really that easy. But if we should go back to the reason we left, I don't
You
think
understand why you left in the first
yes,
place.
yes.
You understand why you left in the first place. Someone said, I visited someone in December and the person was 5 minutes away when I arrived. So he gave me his door code. I pressed it, entered, and continued working on my system. 2 minutes later, the alarm started sounding. So I called him and he gave me the code. Tell me why the alarm company sent 2 people and police to ensure everything is okay. One officer took me outside for an interview, while the other stayed with my friend to be sure he was not talking under duress.
Wow.
Oh God, I really wish my
No,
country
if
to
it's
get
that
even
one, like I feel like over here you feel seen
yeah,
by the system. Yeah.
you feel sane. Then the next comment is, Lord, NEPA has not taken my light in 12 years since I moved here. My daughter had a seizure when she was
Oh.
1. I called 911. In less than 2 minutes, police, ambulance, and firefighters were at my door. I calculate the amount I make daily by working from home, and I'm able to vacation at least 4 times a year to any country I choose without visa. I am happy and settled like mad. See, I don't blame people that I don't blame people that are saying this and don't even want to go
Yeah.
back home at all, because there are some people that Nigeria have dealt with.
I've dealt with,
Because
yeah.
tell me why one man, I can't remember, I can't remember, I saw it on Instagram or so, where one guy came and was crying that his uncle ran past the light in Nigeria. Why would a police officer shoot?
Oh God.
You could have just easily done something
Trailed
else.
the person.
And that shot killed his nephew, which was his uncle's son, and the guy died. So this is why sometimes too, like when I look at people that don't want to live in Nigeria anymore, no matter what, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because of things like this, like the police brutality, the lack of light, the poor road. For how many years? For every single time we elect people, they keep making promises of basic things that could have actually been in place long time ago. Someone is coming to run for office. The promises we are hearing is still the very basic things that we're supposed to have. So that's why, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't care whatever happens to Nigeria. I don't really counter
Yeah, I
or
don't
blame them.
Yeah.
The last one said, this God, I don't want my promotion. Ah, God, this is just a very mixed and sad feeling, Sha, because
Yeah.
on a normal day, why would you even leave your home to go to a place because you don't feel safe at home?
Yeah.
I just wish that one day we'll get a country, Nigeria, where people are so proud and happy to be home,
Yeah.
than a place where people, at any slight conversation, it always leads to, I can't wait to leave this country. Because where I am living in Germany, I rarely hear people say they want to leave their country, because
Never.
things work here.
In Germany here, like you'd hear people like most people would even, their parents will live very close to them, maybe like few blocks away. Their grandparents would also live somewhere around, you know. A lot of people that I know, they go to visit their parents or grandparents like every other weekend, you know, because families are meant to
Be
stay together.
together.
But back home, a lot of people flex it when they even move away from the family. It's not because they really want to, but it's because it's what the system has subjected them to. You know, so everybody are looking for a greener pasture and get all these things that you're looking for. You would deep down know that you want to be with your family.
Exactly, because
You know.
see the way I'm looking forward to, like, Christmas, because for the first time in a very long time, I'll be able to stay with almost all my siblings. For the past 5 or 6 years, I can't remember the last time all my siblings were together because of this JAPA.
Yeah.
It's been so many years that a lot of families have been separated. Like, if I ask now, when was the last time you and all your siblings were together?
It's been a long
It's been a long time.
a while.
It's been a while.
That was the last time I went. Not even all my siblings.
Exactly,
you know.
not all of them.
And it might, the shocking part is that it might never happen again.
It might never happen again. That's just the truth.
I thought about this thing one day, and I was so sad that I might never be able to like have all my siblings in one place again ever. But I will still be seeing like each person, you know.
Yeah, but like
I
just
don't
that
think,
togetherness, because of how the situation has, separated a lot of families. And the truth is, some families will probably never ever be together
Yeah.
again in one sitting. You know, like how in Nigeria, Christmas is when everybody's together. Either we travel to the village or people come home and celebrate Christmas. I don't think it may ever happen
It's so
again.
sad to think about,
It's very, very
but
sad.
I think we are also thinking about it because human needs are insatiable. There would always be something you want, no matter where you you know. So I think for me, like I feel those, I would call it void sometimes, but I still like I'm appreciative of where I am right now because I would rather be feeling whatever it is. I can't put a name to it, but there's this feeling that comes sometimes and you're like, this is now my reality, but I would rather this than go back to hearing the sound of generator or the
like
chaos on the street.
exactly, like
And
you're scared that if you see police like this, are they going to shoot me? Are they going to harm me? Or maybe robbery and rape? All of those very scary things that we experienced back home. And lights, generator, your car. Oh, Jesus Christ! Is it like a lot of things has to be in place? But do I still miss home 100%?
We are trying to build a family here. Like we have like people, friends, and all of that. But despite that, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
You still want to have your people, the people you grew up with. Nobody understand. For me, I feel like with my family, I can just be myself. I don't care what you think. I don't care about filters. So I miss that freedom to just be 100% myself.
So if you're someone who has relocated, let us know if you have this incomplete feeling as well, or like how someone said, I am settled like mad, or are you settled like mad? Let's know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in another episode. Bye guys.